Hello, hello. It's great to be online practicing breath and strength and revolution with y'all today. My name is Garza, and I'm subbing in for Anthony today for Revolution Flow. Shout out to the Providence Community Library for bringing this offering to our community and friends and family and anyone who is looking for some space to practice with others. So really excited to connect on this hot, sweaty day. And I hope everyone can hear me okay. We are the Glitter Goddess Collective, coming to you live from the House of Glitter Performance Lab, formerly the East Hopkins Homestead, on Admiral Street here in Providence. And a few things about today's flow. It will be a little bit on the sweatier side, not only because of the heat, but because our restorative flow will be Friday morning. So this will be a little bit more of some endurance work, some strength work. And that being said, all of the things in this flow are an invitation. So please, please feel free to lay down the entire time, to do what feels right for your body. If there's something alternative posture or a different stretch, or if you just want to take a break, please feel free to do all those things. Definitely a limitation of the virtual space is that we cannot see you. So that means trusting yourself and listening to your body is all the more important to look out for your safety and to bring equity to your energy. So if anything feels like it's about to snap, pinch, or pop, let's pull back from those sensations and try something that feels more restorative for us. And if you like having props like blankets or pillows or yoga blocks, even a stack of books or something, I'm also going to be using a strap today. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can always use a sock or a belt. And if you want to go around your house and find those things, just pause us and come back whenever you're ready. If you need to take a water, if you need to take a call, if you need to take a breather, always feel free to pause and come back later. Well, let's get started. Thank you for being here. So let me just angle us a little bit better. There we go. Okay. Well, let's find a nice grounded seat. I'm going to sit on this cushion to just open up my hamstrings. If you'll notice, once I elevate my hips, my knees can kind of have a little bit more space to open up. And so it releases some tension here in my hip flexors. So wiggle it out, find a good comfy seat, lengthening the spine, back of the head, feeling nice and tall, feeling that length in the back of the neck. I even like to rub my head up. Relax the jaw, maybe roll the shoulders back a few times. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a few more slow, deep breaths. Try to make each breath just a bit slower, just a bit more controlled. Checking in with how our physical body is feeling in this moment. Are there any parts of our body that we're especially aware of right now? Any parts of our body speaking to us? Where are we at mentally, emotionally, spiritually in this moment? Just checking in, trying to practice non-judgment for wherever we're at right now. Inhaling, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Let's roll the shoulders open the chest, open the throat. Fingertips to shoulders, drawing big circles with the elbows. And full circumductions, leading with the pinky. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, release. And let's grab onto our opposite elbows up top, trying to reach our elbows behind our back, not arching the back necessarily, but just opening up the shoulders. And let's tuck the chin down. Really pressing the chin to the chest. Maybe starting to gently turn and swing the head. You might notice some spinal cracks, some lengthening in the spine. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Giving ourselves a big hug. Stacking right elbow on top of left. This is a great place to be if we just want to hang out here, opening up our shoulders. If you want something a little bit more intense, we can hook the bottom arm underneath, like so. And if you want to bind, we can try grabbing on to our hands, our palms. If you can't quite get here, you can always just grab a sock or a belt, grab onto both sides, a little bit of a brain teaser, and you can hold on this way. So there's lots of ways to show up here. And here we're trying to release some tension from our upper back. So inhaling to lift, warming up the shoulders. Exhale, push the hands away from the forehead. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press open. Gently release, open wide. And switching sides, stacking left on top of right. We can hook the bottom arm underneath. We can take a full bind. Inhaling to lift the elbows up, deep breath, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, press the hands away from the forehead. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press to open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Gently release, open wide. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, release. Let's plant the left hand down. Or actually, I'm just tenting my fingers here. Reaching the right arm up and over. Stretch the right oblique. Fingertips stretch, reach. Inhale, expand. Exhale, deepen. Pressing that right hip down. Ooh. And reaching up and over to the other side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Pressing the left hip down. Expanding in the torso. Inhale, inflate. Exhale, deepen. And back to center. Left hand across the body for a gentle twist. Turning the chin to the right. And arms up and over to the other side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning the chin to the left. Deep twist here. Back to center, roll the wrists. Changing the direction of our circle. Fingers pointing down, pressing the palms down. And gently release. All right. So we are going to move to standing. So we'll start with some sun salutations. Again, equity in your own energy is so important. Having awareness of the equity of energy and the distribution of your own energy is so important. So if you're here practicing, hopefully it feels like you're doing something for yourself. And even within that, in your asana practice, in your physical practice, think about the energy that you have to offer today in this moment, and think about how to regulate that, even just in this hour together. And if we're moving fast, go at your own pace. If you notice any guilt coming up for doing your own thing, slap that guilt away, pop. And remember that you're practicing equity, and the flow that I'm offering does not need to be what you practice. It's just an offering, an invitation. So I'm just going to test my audio real here. Okay. All right, so let's stand. And I know that not everybody can see super well, so let me adjust over here. Okay, let's see how that goes. All right, we'll take it. So feet parallel, about hip width apart. Shake the hips, knees slightly bent. Relax the hips, shoulders open, chest open. Palms facing front. Here in Tadasana mountain pose, let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. And as we breathe slowly, let's first just ground in the earth, in the floor, pressing all the edges of our feet into the floor, feeling unshakable, immovable. And on your next inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hinging forward, folding at the hips. And we'll hang out here just for a moment. Feel free to bend the knees, hang heavy, shake the head no, nod the head yes. Maybe alternate bended knees. Bending the knees just a bit more. And straighten. Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. Inhale to bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, flat back, pressing on the shins or the quads. Crown of the head reaching forward, hips reaching back, chest open, shoulder blades wide. Bend the knees, roll down, and press into the floor to roll up. Shoulders open. Okay. Palms facing front, chest open, heart open, shoulder blades spreading wide. Inhaling, we're going to take on a cactus arm here. So elbows stretch wide. Instead of reaching up, let's keep our shoulders really heavy. Elbows reaching. Imagine someone's pulling your elbows along across your wingspan. Chest is opening. Shoulder blades spreading wide behind our back. Spread your fingers wide. Just feel the width. Feel the expansiveness here. And on your next exhale, let's take a forward fold. Hinging at the hips. Relax the neck. Inhale, flat back. Bend the knees, plant the hands, hop, walk, or step into the plank of your choice. We can take a high plank, a modified plank, a forearm plank. Take whatever works for you today. I'm going to modify with my knees down just to demo. Slow, deep breaths here. Pressing all the knuckles into the floor, or if our forearms are down, pressing every connection to the floor into the earth. And on the next exhale, let's lower down all the way to the floor. So here, I think my Facebook folks can't see me, but here on the floor, we are, I'm going to adjust the camera, goalpost the arms, just like we just did. And let's rest the left ear on the floor. Okay, Facebook, I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if you're going to get to see me on the floor. That's okay. So, left ear resting on the floor. Sliding the right hand down. Rolling the right leg into our back space. Press the left elbow into the floor. Press the left shoulder into the floor. Left ear into the floor. Play around here. Get curious with that right leg. We can bend it. We can straighten. We can press into the floor itself. And let's take the other side when we're ready. Switching sides. Resting the right ear on the floor. Pressing the left hand into the floor. Roll the left leg back. And now we're pressing right elbow, right shoulder, right ear. Get curious with that left leg. Rolling back to center. Drawing the hands in. Keep the elbows bent, shoulders back, chest open. Hanging out here in a cobra just for a moment. And pressing up. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, reach the hips up and back for a downward dog. This first downward dog, we'll keep our knees bent. All the knuckles pressing into the floor, shoulders in their sockets, shoulder blades wide across the upper back. Relax the neck. Lifting the hips, flaring the outer hips open. Trying to make the spine nice and flat so it can just lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Maybe start to alternate heels into the floor. And however you want, gazing forward, we can hop, walk, tippy toe. Back into a forward fold. Hang out here for a moment. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees and slowly roll up. Okay, back in Tadasana. Feet parallel. Palms facing front. Breathing in and out. Inhale, arms up. We can cactus or reach the arms up, stretch, reach. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, pressing on the shins, lengthen the spine, top of the head reaching forward, hips reaching back. Bend the knees, plant the hands, hop, walk, or step into your plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra as we did before. Either way, chest open, shoulders back. And pressing into the floor, lift the core for a downward dog. Feel free to keep those knees bent. If you feel like your back has some work to do to work towards that lengthening, that flattening, bending the knees will definitely help. If we straighten the knees, it's going to distribute the work. And I really want us to focus on that flat back first. So if you feel like your back is flat, we can start to press the heels down. All of us can shift the weight to the left foot, float the right leg up, and draw the right knee forward. We're going to hold here. And on the exhale, reach back. Go ahead and open up that hip. Bend the right knee. Circle the right knee. Lengthen, extend, float, and plant the right foot. This is where I really like using blocks because I have short arms. So I'm going to frame this front foot. The back knee can be resting on the floor, or you can lift it up like so, with the left heel reaching back. So just making sure this front knee is stacked right on top of the front ankle, like so. Pressing all the edges into the foot, breathing into the hip flexor, especially that left hip flexor. Go ahead and lower that knee if you haven't already. Lengthen the front leg, flex the right foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Open the chest. Exhale, round and fold. And bending forward, coming back into this assisted low lunge. Just take a moment here. And we can heel toe this right foot to be a bit wider, angling the right toes out so that our right foot's pointing to our right. And we can lower the hips down. I'll demonstrate from the front. We can flop this knee out. We can stay right here. Knee on the ground, just letting the hips sink low. We can also lower down to our forearms. We can lift the back knee. Just taking care of our hips in a different spot. Slow, deep breaths. And pressing up back to center. Lengthening this front leg once more, flexing the right foot, this time angling out so our right foot is pointing to our right. Keeping this leg flexed, the foot flexed. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and fold. Getting our IT band, which can contribute to lower back pain. Maybe giving some topical heat to that IT band on the side of our right thigh. Folding forward as we breathe deeply here. All right, I'm gonna adjust as we come out of this. Half Hanuman, coming back to a lunge. Lift the back knee, drop the back heel, and let's open up for Warrior Two. Notice front knee stacked right on top of the front ankle. Back leg is straight. Have a right angle. Right now my heels are lined up like in a single lane. Don't want to have this leg half bend. Don't want to bend it too much. Just want to keep it right here. Opening the hips wide. Stretch the wingspan. Fingertips. Stretch, reach. Pressing all the edges of your feet into the floor. Activate your quads. Flipping the front palm. Reach forward. Reach up. Reach back. Breathing into the right oblique. Maybe bend that front knee just a bit more. Reaching up and forward, breathing into the left side. And clasping the hands behind the back. Lowering the chest down, humble warrior. And release. Walk the hands to center. Pivot that right foot so that we have a nice wide parallel feet stance. And let's wiggle the hips just a bit, maybe bend the knees slightly. Walking the hands forward, almost like a big wide downward dog. Let's twist to thread the right arm through to grab onto the left ankle or calf. Breathing deeply here. Other side. When you're ready. And release, coming back to center. When you're ready, walk the hands in. And keeping the feet where they are, really pressing into the outer edges especially. Let the head fall heavy. Clasp the hands behind the back. And take some slow, deep breaths here. And release. Plant the hands, bend the knees. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet so that now our feet are rotated outwards. Bend the knees, press into the floor, rolling up. The reason I had us angle our feet out is just a tip, especially to protect the ligaments around our knees, our ACL, our MCL. You know, what's important is that we always bend our knees in the direction that our feet are pointing. So the reason I had us angle our feet in this wide stance is so that when we bent our knees, they'd be in alignment. They'd be pointing in the direction of our feet. If we had parallel feet, we'd want to bend them in the direction of our feet, which is going to feel kind of funny, or you're going to bend them out, which can put strain on your ligaments. So let's be really careful and intentional with how we bend our knees, how we flex our knees. And sometimes that requires readjustments or realignment. And I think there's a really powerful metaphor there around alignments, which is a really important word to me this summer. And I think a really valuable way to bring equity to our body and our energy is by just checking in with our alignment. Not only how is our body aligned to support the work that we're inviting, but also how are our actions, our words aligned to our values, aligned to our self, aligned to whatever feels authentic to us. So anyway, sorry, I got preachy in this wide stance. We're standing up. Let's clasp the hands behind our back. And this time, you're in this wide stance. We're not going to fold forward. Instead, you're just going to press the hands away from your back as much as you can. Feel free to open the chest. Feel free to do what feels good and get experimental. I like to put my chin down and release. Okay, so now we're going to change direction. So if you want to reorient yourselves, go for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pivot my left foot to point now to my forward, bending the left knee. I personally want my heels to be in alignment in the same lane. Bending that left knee, finding a stance that feels good for me, opening the hips, pressing the outer edge, especially of this right foot. Press the outer edge of that foot down. Arms stretch, reach. Feel the wingspan open, fingertips lengthen, radiate. Flipping the front palm, reaching forward, reaching up and back, and coming back to the front space. We'll take a nice, slow, deep breath here. Breathing into the right oblique. Clasping the hands behind the back for a humble warrior. And release the hands down. Lift the back heel. Let the hips sink low. And breathe here for a moment. If you want blocks, grab some blocks. And go ahead and lower the back knee if you haven't already. Straighten and lengthen the left leg. Flex this left ankle foot toe. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Puff the chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round and fold. Slow, deep breaths here. And lunging forward. Back to this low lunge. Heel toe. The left foot wide. And angle that left foot out. so that we can just let the hips sink low. We can lower to the forearms, and or we can lift the back heel. Sorry, back knee, not the back heel. The back heel is lifted as well. Take any variation here of this nice hip opener. And coming back to center. This time, lengthening the left leg, flexing the left foot, rotating at the left hip so that our left foot's pointing to the left, getting ready to stretch the IT band on the left side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And coming back to center. Coming back to our low lunge. This time, planting the hands, meeting back in our high plank. Inhale here, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lower, halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, shoulders back, chest open. Lifting the hips up and back for downward dog. Shoulders in their sockets, shoulder blades wide. And hop, step, tippy toe, walk the feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands. And this time we can hop, walk, or step back to our plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, shoulder blades open, chest open. Exhale, downward dog. Lengthen the spine, all the knuckles pressing into the floor. Shifting the weight to the right heel. Let's float the left leg up. Ooh, I have a nice wall right there. Stretch, reach, open the hips. Bend that left knee, go ahead and open. And coming back to center, let's alternate heels in the floor. Figure eight the hips. And this time, walking the hands back to meet the feet. Hang heavy here, shake the head no. Nod the head yes. Okay, we're gonna take a moment here in this forward fold. So checking in with the base of our feet, making sure the inner edges of our feet, the outer edges are pressing into the floor, knees bent, stacking hips on top of knees, on top of ankles, and just feeling heavy. Try to let go. Maybe do some audible exhales. I love a forward fold because it brings such important alignment to the spine. The more we relax our head, let our head feel heavy and loose, we might feel some little pops in our spine, feeling it getting longer, lengthening. Pressing into the floor, pressing up. And sticking hands in our imaginary back pockets, keeping our feet parallel, bending the knees forward. And lifting up. Gonna take that again. Bringing a little bit more awareness to our alignment this time. Feet planted, knees stacked over the ankles, hips stacked over the knees. And when we bend the knees, bending them in alignment, bending them in the direction of our feet, trying to touch the elbows behind us, really opening up the chest. And a few deep breaths. Please don't hold your breath here. Lifting up. Inhale, arms up. Once more, let's grab our opposite elbows. Reach those elbows back as we tuck the chin forward. And release. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, relax. Okay. Next up, let's practice some balance. Ooh, balance is such a topic this summer, in this COVID reality crisis, in the important momentum and visibility of centuries of anti-racist work, thousands of years of anti-racist work. Balance, balancing our individual energy, balancing relationships, balancing work, balancing our activism, balancing community and the self. There's so much balance practice. So a reminder I'll give about how important support is for our body and for our practice out in the world is just the simple fact that support can not only give a message to your nervous system that can bring you to a place of calm and awareness, but we can, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a sec. See, I got distracted in my own balance practice. Talking about support, falling out of balance is still practicing balance. So this is hard for me to remember because it's easy for me to shame myself. I've been socialized to shame myself in a colonized mindset so often. And so I have to remember that messing up, falling, that is part of balance practice. That is part of me understanding my edges, part of me understanding my reach, part of me understanding where I'm at right now and what I need right now. So I would love to encourage us to bring that insight into our daily practice, not just on the yoga mat, but in our lives, in our work, in our families, in our relationships, and in our inner dialogue, thinking about the value of falling safely and thinking about the value of finding out that we're out of balance so that we can bring ourselves back to center. So with that, we will take on a simple tree pose. So feet together, preferably, feet parallel, knees slightly bent. And first, I'm just gonna give us a minute to practice balance on our own, whether we wanna try standing on one foot, whether we wanna try doing something crazy, or just breathe here standing. Let's just take a minute for you to practice some balance on your own, whatever that means to you. Okay, shake it out. And let's come to center, feet parallel. Knees just slightly bent, hips relaxed. I like to bring my hands to center. You can also bring your hands out You can also bring your hands up above the head, or you can move and dance while we practice. Let's bring the right foot to just the toes, noticing when our weight has fully shifted to the left. We can lift those toes. Notice how it feels to be grounded here, even with our foot just hovering above the ground. Reset if we need to, lifting up. Now we can open up this hip and place our foot on our ankle, on the calf, or above the knee. Please do not place this foot on the knee joints. You are asking for an injury if we put our foot directly on the knee. So even I have to lift mine up a little bit. Okay. So we're right here. And if you're wearing slippery shorts like mine, it's going to be tough, or leggings. So there's no shame in putting the foot lower, which is usually what I do when I'm wearing pants. Now here, key balance tip. Find something small and still in the room, a speck of dust, a leaf on a plant, a mark on the wall, a spot on the clock. And let's just stay focused on that singular focal point. I'm actually just going to come here. Finding alignment, noticing if we fall out of balance, and what insight we have. How does that feel? What comes up? What do we notice? Coming back to center with control, we'll lift the knee and lower it with intention. Coming back so that our feet are together, shifting the weight to the right foot, bringing the left foot to just the toes. Once we can feel that our weight has officially shifted to the right, all of our right toes are pressing down, we can flex that left foot and find our positioning on this side, which might be the same, might be different. Finding our focal points. I love thinking about focus and the role of focus and balance. It's pretty much a done deal that as soon as you look away, as soon as you start wandering, you're going to lose your balance. So staying focused, reducing the noise, and coming back to center, lifting the left knee and coming back to the ground with control. Okay, very nice. Just a nice little balance moment for us. Let me check the time. Great. Let's come to the floor and drawing both feet in. Nice butterfly here. Grabbing onto the ankles, open the chest. Slow, deep breaths here. If you have a pillow, it might be really nice to put it on your feet because we're gonna fold down. Or if you have a blanket or a stack of pillows and you want to just make a nice stack for yourself. Reach that chest forward. Slow breaths, really trying to let go of our weight here. So as we shift to our cool down, as we prepare for Shavasana here, we are now in a restoration space, or that is at least the invitation. So we've been moving, we've been a little bit more agile, and here we're not really inviting the same kind of work. We're inviting the work to let go, inviting the work to not hold our weight, to not even hold ourselves up, finding our alignment, and just being here, just being heavy. I don't know about others, but I'm still finding it hard to let go of parts of my life that I had before COVID. So just want to speak to how difficult it is even in our muscles and our body to let go. And that's why props like pillows and blankets can be so helpful, because when we can lean on something We give our nervous system a message that we're safe and supported, and that our muscles can kind of let go and relax. We don't have to hold ourselves up. So there's this biological mechanism where we biologically hold ourselves up, and it inhibits our digestion, inhibits our blood flow, our sex drive, our memory retention. So finding that place where we can let go is so, so important to bringing equity to our body's energy. Okay, let's open up for a wide straddle, whatever works for you. And we're gonna give ourselves some more practice letting go and using some prop support. So having a pillow here, I'm actually gonna take another blanket and roll it up so it has lots of depth. I'm gonna alternate flex and points with my feet and just reaching forward, reaching the chest forward. And resting here on your pillow or stack of pillows. Now, some of us might just need a few pillows. Some of us might need a giant stack of pillows. The point is to let go. The point is not how far we fold. The point is not how flexible we are. The point is to give our body a moment where it gets to experience letting go, not having to hold ourselves up, not having to hold that tension. So reach the chest forward, fold, release. Try to let go. Try to notice parts of your body that are holding on, and try to just bring your breath to that part of your body. Fill that part of your body up with your inhale and exhale to release, let go. And when you're ready, we can roll back up. And excellent. Feel free to give your body anything else it needs. We're going to move to the floor. We'll just give ourselves one happy baby to prepare for Shavasana. We can grab the outer edges of the knees, or we can grab the outer edges of the feet. So we can be right here, ankles stacked on top of knees, shoulders melting into the floor, head resting on the floor, pressing the lower back down. Slow, deep breaths here. And when you're ready, letting go onto the floor. Feel free to cover yourself with the blankets. I like to add some weight to my pelvis right here. And my personal favorite is rolling up a blanket just enough so it has a little bit of depth to it. And then I'm going to take that rolled up part of my blanket and tuck it under my neck so that I'm filling the space between my neck and the floor. My neck can just rest on something. And here we are. Shavasana, corpse pose, our practice of death, our recognition of the cycle of life. A reminder that we're all dying, but we're not dead yet. We will stand up. We will move forward in our lives after we close this practice. We can take the wisdom and insight from our bodies, from our experience in our practice today, taking that insight, taking the questions, the epiphanies, the lessons learned, the anatomy, and seeing how can this wisdom serve us, or maybe exploring how can this wisdom serve us in our relationships, in our families, at work, at school, in the revolution, in our activism, in our protesting? What is the role of balance, alignment, release in our lives, in the lives of people around us? Working to let your body feel heavy. If you notice that a part of your body is working, stuck a pillow under there, stuff a blanket under there, let it rest on something. I know folks also like to prop their legs up against a wall or elevate the thighs with a pillow. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Take a deep breath in, let out a sigh of relief. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in. One more time. Breathing in. That was a yawn sigh. Sorry about that. Rolling over to your right side. When you're ready, take your time. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you want. Here in the fetal position, find a moment of comfort here. And once more, you can stay here as long as you want. When you're ready, pressing up to a comfortable seat. We can rest the hands on our knees. We can bring the hands to heart center or rest the hands over our heartbeat. A breath for the ancestors we bring to our practice today, and for the indigenous people who were on this land before colonization. Breathing in and out. A breath to thank yourself for your practice today. Breathing in and out. A breath to appreciate others for their support. Breathing in and out. And a breath for the intentions and well-being of everyone in our Glitter Goddess yoga community. Breathing in and out. The loving human in me bows down to the loving human in you. Namaste. Wow, thank you so much. It was really nice to practice with you today. As always, we love getting your feedback. So please send us your thoughts, questions, things that aren't working for you about virtual yoga. This is something we're all learning to do together. So we welcome critical feedback. We welcome ideas. I'm practicing in a different room than you might be used to because, confession, I just wanted to practice where there was an air conditioner this afternoon. We are accepting donations to support summer and fall programming at the House of Glitter Performance Lab, specifically projects in our Liberation Garden, and to support by POC, Black, Indigenous, POC elders and artists to sustain their livelihoods and create programming that supports their practice. So check us out, theglittergoddesscollective.org. You can find more info about our virtual offerings and info about the various projects and magic we have brewing. So grateful to the Providence Community Library for hosting us and supporting us and holding this space in this challenging time for our community to breathe and practice together. Thank you so much. And I think that's all I can remember to say. Our Venmo is the Glitter Goddesses. And if you'd like to donate in another way, just shoot us a message and we'll figure it out together. Thank you so much. Take care.